What's up guys? In today's video, I'm gonna talk about why I spend $25,000 a month just on rent. What's up guys? Chidester here teaching you how to build profitable online businesses. Now in today's video, I wanna talk about why I spend $25,000 on rent, why it matters for you, and what you can learn from it. So for context, I wanna start off, if you don't know anything about me, I grew up in a family of 7 kids. So I'm one of 7, I have 6 siblings, 4 sisters, 2 brothers. My dad was a teacher, so we grew up on a teacher salary, and then my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So to understand about mindset, and so just so you can get in tune with other people, one of the reasons I think I've been successful is I didn't grow up with money, and it wasn't just given to me. And so it made me have a very scarcity and fear-based mindset around money, and I didn't want to live that way. I particularly remember my parents would have a lot of arguments, and just for context, I didn't grow up in a bad home, so I don't want that to get thrown out there, especially when my parents watch this. Love you, mom and dad.
Thanks, son.
It was just constantly a fight, and I even saw this with my grandparents, who were my mom's parents, and I just didn't want to live that way. Like all this budgeting, wondering, worrying about $5 this, $10 that, buying clothes. I just didn't really like it. And so from a very young age, I particularly remember wanting to become very successful. I started off trying to become, a professional football player, and that didn't work out. So then after that, I was like, how else can I become wealthy? How else can I make a lot of money so that I don't have to live that way? Now, after going through football, it doesn't work out. I'm in school and I decide I want to drop out. I have a year left to become a petroleum engineer, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to become successful and wealthy, and I think I need to start my own business. Now, keep in mind, when I do this, everyone thinks I'm an idiot. My girlfriend at the time said I was stupid. Her mom told me I was stupid, actually said that. My own family said I was stupid. I can 100% guarantee you none of them thought I was actually gonna be successful. And that's okay, because 99% of the time when people say that, they are correct. And I knew that, right? It's just like playing in the NFL. 99% of people who have that dream will fail. So it's easy for people to say, you won't be successful. But I knew, right, that was the only way I was gonna get to my goal. And so I ignored everyone, but I got a massive chip on my shoulder, as you can imagine, and I got very angry inside. I got very resentful because I didn't feel like I had that support. And so when things weren't going well, which the first 3 years I started business, I didn't make any money. I only made $2,000. So for any of you struggling out there, keep going, keep going. It was easy to get upset because people would just make fun of me. I even remember one moment where my little brother said, hey dude, how's business going? And he knew it wasn't going well, right? And I knew he was being facetious in his comment, and that really bothered me. So after going through business, those first 3 years, I then go on to start being more successful in business. And these last 3 years, I've done about $30 million, right? So my life's changed dramatically, which, seems overnight, but it wasn't. And so now I'm living in Miami, and I guess the feeling was that I deserved this, right? Like, F you, you guys all put me down, you didn't believe in me. Now I'm in Miami and I deserve these nice things. I deserve to have them, and F you, and look at me now. And it was kind of that feeling. It was very unhealthy. I still hold some of that resentment now, but as I'm getting older, I'm getting better at it. And while you may be listening thinking, yeah, like I would think the same thing too, it didn't really serve me well, and I'll tell you why. I go off and I get one of the nicest places in Miami. Before that, I still lived in a very nice place. I lived in a penthouse, but it was only about $12,000 a month. And then the very next year, I got this place and it was double. It was $25,000. And it's one of the nicest buildings in all of Miami. You can look it up. It's called 1000 Museum. The cheapest rent there is about $22,000 non-furnished. So I got a place that was $25,000 fully furnished. And there's very rich and successful people who live there. David Beckham actually lives, I believe, at the top of it. There's other club owners there, restaurant owners, just very successful businessmen. I believe I was the youngest person in that building that actually owned it, right? So there were kids there, but they live with their parents, right? So I believe I was the youngest person there. Long story short though, it's like anything, right? And you'll see this theme in my videos. It was super fun. I got in there, I got the clout. People are like, oh my gosh, you live there. They hear that. And it felt nice, but honestly, it's to my detriment, right? Because using kind of that anger and resentment and fear when you start to build your business, it can serve you very well, and it was very powerful for me. But as you start to make more money and you're no longer in a place of scarcity or desperation, it doesn't serve you as well, or you don't have that same feelings. And so when I moved in there, ultimately it didn't serve me well, and I would recommend you don't do that, because what really was happening is, if you do the math, right, $25,000 a month, that's about $300,000 for the year just for rent, right? Just for rent. And if you think about that, that's enough money at the very least to put that down on $1 million home that I can then rent out Airbnb style plus the appreciation. And so that could end up being, instead of a complete waste of money with something I don't even own, I could own $1 million home, make probably $4,000 to $8,000 a month profit with Airbnb, plus I get the appreciation, plus I can sell it later. And so I think it's a very dangerous mindset after a certain point to use fear and resentment and anger to continue to fuel you, because when you always have this attitude of like, look at me, F you, look at how I'm doing, yes, it can feel nice in the short term, but ultimately all I did was hurt myself by spending all that money, when in reality I should have been putting it into investments, because ultimately the best way to buy that stuff is off your investments, right? And so no matter how much money you're making, you can always put that into investments, and then whatever you make off that, then you can use that to buy your cars or to buy your houses. So I hope that was insightful for you. I guess my biggest message I'm trying to get at is, don't make decisions based off what other people think or how they make you feel or if they've put you down, etc., because it's just not a great way to live. It won't make you feel happy. The things really don't fill any voids. And ultimately, all I did was hurt myself, because I could have created more wealth by investing it properly, right? Which I do now. That's all I do, is I just invest it. The place I live in now, I think, is about, I pay about $7,500 a month. Still nice, still probably more than average for a person, but that's 4 times less. And the rest of my money goes into investments. So I hope that's a little insightful for you, gives you a little context, helps you avoid similar situations. If you found value in this, just make sure to subscribe and then check out one of the other 2 videos on the left or right hand side of the screen. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.